This is 4.1 notes over accounting, new chapter. We're going to be doing and working with the chart of accounts. We've looked at the chart of accounts on a number of occasions in our instructions for our problems. We'll be working on just kind of talking about how we assign it and set it up. And so we're going to be looking and working through 4.1 notes here, talk about what's file maintenance, how to open a general ledger, things like that. Okay, so first things first, journals is a permanent record. That was mentioned last chapter. I want to reinforce that. It's something that needs to be done. Debit and credits for each transaction need to be done, and they're done in chronological order, these journal entries. The journal doesn't show in one place all the changes. That's why we have to have this done, and it's important that we post. In order to post, though, we first got to get our number system so we can set up how we're going to go about setting up these chart of accounts and how we're going to get it done. Okay, so first, excuse me, when we're posting, we need something to post. We call it posting. So it kind of looks like a T account over here with the debit and credit, right? You have the date, you have account number. So we'll write our account title. We'll write cash up here. You have a post reference. This will be where you put the page number. We'll show you all these things in a minute. This is a ledger account that we're going to be looking at. It says information needed to trace back to the page in the journal. So we would put cash, accounts receivable, account payable, capital, sales. We put the date of the transaction, the page of the journal, and if it's a debit or a credit. This is what it would look like. Now the problem is, if we did this, we'd have to add them all up because we don't have a current balance over here. So this form is incomplete, and it needs to be done here, and so that we can see that we have a balance section. We have a debit balance or a credit balance section. This is called a balance ruled accounting form. Basically, it's a ledger account, okay? Cash, 110. Then you post whatever the items that we're going to be posting in cash, or supplies. And then the account number, the date that we bought the supplies, the journal page 1, debit supplies, debit balance. Okay, and then we'll show you how if you get a debit and a debit, you add them. If you have a debit and a credit, you would subtract, and the bigger number goes in the balance. So if I have 10 debits and 2 credits, the balance is 8 here. And we'll get used to that. And again, if you wanted to read this section, that would be important. So those are general ledger accounts. This is a chart of accounts. We've seen this in our instructions. We have assets, liabilities, owner's equity, revenue, and expenses. There's 5 of our divisions in our chart of accounts. Okay, the group of accounts is called a ledger. That's what we were looking at. This is going to be a ledger entry. We need to have a ledger made up, and a ledger that contains all the accounts needed to prepare a financial statement is called a general ledger. The name given to the account is the account title, and the number assigned is called the account number. So when we're looking at this, account title, account number, this is going to be a general ledger account. All of them put together help us make our financial statements. Okay. This is the list of accounts. It has our 5 general ledger divisions, like I mentioned. You can see assets are 100s, liabilities are 200s, owner's equity 300s, revenue is 400, expenses is 5. Expenses are listed in alphabetical order. Cash is always starting at 110, okay, and then we work our way down. Usually accounts receivable are in alphabetical order. Usually accounts payable are in alphabetical order. We usually list capital first, then drawing, then income summary, and the owner's equity. We going up. It's a small company. We're a small company here, so we're doing going up by numbers of 10. So 110, 120, 130, 140. Okay. When we set it up, and then we'll move on and we'll change things up here in a minute. All right. So this is kind of what I just described. The first number is the division that it's in, the 100, 200, 300. So that's why the 100s are there. 500s are here as such. So the first number is division, and the next 2 numbers are where it's located in the division. The second 2 digits equal where it's going to be located in there. We using a 3-digit because our company is small. You might have companies that do 20-digit, if you're the biggest company, whatever. In advanced accounting, we use 4-digit numbers, but this is we are only using 3. But what does the first number mean? The first number means general ledger division that it's in. I think that was it for that slide, sorry. Yep. Assigning the account numbers. So we're going to be going and assigning numbers to these. It's called file maintenance, the procedure for arranging general ledger accounts, assigning account numbers, keeping the records of these. So putting these numbers in the correct order is file maintenance. We already talked about how we're assigning numbers by 10. And so 560, 570 is an example here that we're doing with miscellaneous expense. But now we're starting to get to a lot of postage expense. So they want to set up an account. That's what they're telling you here. So as we mentioned before, our expenses are done in alphabetical order. And so if we want to put a miscellaneous or a postage expense in there, we're going to have to put it in this correct order alphabetically. So we're going to need to place it between miscellaneous and supplies. We mentioned already that we're going by tens. So how are we going to do that? We're not just going to reassign this one all the numbers and have to change everything. So we're going to put a new account, this new expense account, in the correct alphabetical order, and then we will put it in the middle of the 2 existing accounts. So not 560, not 570, but 565. So we place it in the correct alphabetical order, and then we split the difference, 565. Okay. It says that's when a new account is placed in the middle. Now there's all sorts of exceptions. Don't worry about that right now. All you want to do is know that the expenses are listed alphabetically. There are 500 accounts. If one is supposed to be put in there, you put a new one supposed to be put in the middle of 2. Put it in the middle and put the number 565 or 545 or 525, whatever that number might be. Now, if we add an expense like water to the end, so like it's the last one. So if we looked at our chart of accounts and we were going to add water, we'd look and we go, oh, water's this. We put it at the bottom. Well, we're going by tens, right? It's not going in the middle like postage did. So it's going at the bottom. So what do? Just assign it the next 10 number. So 560, 570, it goes at the end, so 580. 3-digit account number, like we said, the file maintenance goes up every 10. Opening account, you'll have to do those when we do our assignment. Opening account in the general ledger, you'll put, well, how do you do it? You put the name of the account and the number of the account. And they will ask you that. How do you open an account? Put the name and put the number. When you open an account, you put the name and the date. False. Name and the account number. Okay? Accounts are opened and arranged in general ledger, same order as they are in the chart of accounts. We'll list assets first, liabilities, owner's equity, revenue, and expenses. They'll be in that order, 100s through 500s. Cash is the number we talked about. It's the opening one. It's at 110. All right, and that's it for our notes.